Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.
Last week, the Women in Tech CCA Awards ceremony was held in Tbilisi. As a part of the ceremony, several exceptional women have been awarded in a few categories, such as the Global Leadership Women in Tech Award, the Most Impactful Initiative Award, and the Woman In Web3 Award. PMG's Business Evening host, Georgy Aronia, had a chance to talk to the founder and CEO of Women in Tech, Ayumi Aoki, about the initiative and how it is developing in Georgia.
Ayumi, hi. Thank you very
Hello.
much for your time. It's a pleasure to have you here in Georgia to talk about women empowerment.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be back in Georgia, a country that I love.
That's very nice to hear. Ayumi, the first question I'd like to ask you is about, it's a very global question. It's about women in tech in general. As I read, your mission is to empower 5 million women and girls by 2030. So let me ask, how are you going to accomplish this? What are your concrete plans to do that?
So we focus on 4 main areas. The first is education. The second is digital inclusion. The third is entrepreneurship. And the fourth is advocacy. Because we feel that we have to find solutions and programs in all these areas so that we can really make a change. So obviously first is education. I think it speaks by itself. We have many different educational programs that we do internally ourselves, but also with many partners like Binance Charity, which has helped us put together an initiation of the blockchain. So we are forming right now 2,800 women and girls in Brazil and in Africa, an introduction to blockchain. Here also in the region, in Caucasus and Central Asia, in Georgia, we have partnered with the University of Caucasus, and we started a program on cybersecurity. And the pilot was done this year, and today we have 6 of the ladies who have completed the course are going to be getting the certification, the graduation today.
Let me ask you about the general idea. Where did the idea to empower 5 million women and girls came from?
Well, in the beginning, I wanted to empower 1 woman, and then 10, and then hundreds, and then thousands, and then very quickly we said to myself, well, if you really want to make impact, but lasting impact that can really change the way, become self-sustainable, we have to think big. I think we have to dream big. And I think 5 million, we start really having an impact in changing the course of things in the world. And obviously, I don't do it by myself. I do it with all my team, with the chapters around the world. Today, we have 50 chapters around the world. And by the end in the next 2 years, I would like to expand to over 100. So until 2025, we're going to be expanding. And I think if we only have impact about 1,000 or 5,000 women by country in the next 7 years now, I think we'll be able to reach our goal to 5 million. I think in the last count, our impact report, we were a bit over 300,000. So it's starting slowly, but getting there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I hope it will grow exponentially after
yes,
that.
it will.
Let me ask you this. What is the process like? When did you launch, and how does it work? Do you reach out to people in different countries that would set up chapters, or it's more bottom-up process?
It's both ways. So right in the beginning, I didn't know where to start. So I said, well, let's start by first doing an event, a very big event that would highlight the most wonderful women around the world. Give them the spotlight, identify the initiatives, the leaders, the role models that can really inspire other women as well. And so this is why I started. It was in 2018, our very first Women in Tech Global Awards. And ever since, this has been growing. And I must say that sometimes I was a little bit frustrated that between the nominees, we didn't have all of the regions that were really represented. So I said, no, if you really want to have a massive representation of the women, we have to be able to do regional awards. So we started with the regional awards last year, and the first time in Caucasus, Central Asia. This is the same way we do with the chapters. We have lots and lots of requests to open chapters. So we try and choose the best person that's going to be leading the country, and some of them it's because they asked to open the chapter, and sometimes we identify people that we really think will be the best fit to be able to grow and represent women in tech in the country.
How did it happen in Georgia? when did you open up chapter here, and what is Georgia's role in the region for Women in Tech?
Well, Georgia's role in the region, for us, it was the very first country in the region for the Women in Tech. And it came because I met the right person, Nino. She, by friends of ours in common, she said, well, she's a wonderful woman in tech. And I met with her, and it was just natural, and it was in evidence that she would be the one leading the country, the Women in Tech. And from there on, we also started expanding. We're also in Azerbaijan. And Leila, she's our chapter ambassador, who is here today now in Georgia as well. And I think in the course of the year, we want to expand to other countries like Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan and many others, hopefully in the future.
How does it work? Do chapters unite within some sort of regional chapters, and then there is one chapter that oversees the process, or all of them are kind of separate?
So every chapter, all of them have the same mission, right? We give them like the same objectives and the goals, which obviously is to impact the most women possible. But we like for them to grow the community, because we need to have the feedback of the community of what the needs are. And I think it's very, very important to have a powerful network of women and men allies, because obviously we welcome to people of all genders as well. And then they have to do events, we have to do educational program, because we really want the impact on the ground. And also, obviously, work with local partnerships so they can be self-sustainable, and they can create events and fund the programs as well. So all of them have this kind of the same objective, and we try to create collaborations and synergies in the region so they can really support each other and leverage and get even more bigger projects, bigger programs, bigger initiatives. We all work in a very collaborative way, not only in the region but across all the other continents. We have town halls. We share best practices. Sometimes something that happened maybe in Brazil or in Peru can be a very good idea that could be implemented here or in Japan. So we're really trying to look beyond the borders as well, beyond the region. But then we do have regional directors. So for the whole of the Central Asia and Caucasus region is Nino. She's not only ambassador but also the director of the region. So she overlooks and she makes sure that all the countries are aligned. And obviously, because we have so many chapters, it's important to have regional directors that talk to each other and are in direct contact with us in the headquarters.
One of the very fascinating projects that you have is the Tech Awards, and it is my understanding that this year it will be held for the first time here in Georgia. Right? Could you elaborate a bit on the specifics? What are the criteria? What are the different areas that you nominate people in? And what sort of women have to participate in this award show?
Okay, so I think there are 9 categories. So the first one is it's a new award. It's the Women in Tech Arts Awards. It's powered by Amazon Music, because until now we were very techy other categories, and I think we have to put arts into tech as well. Digital art, all kinds of arts. Creativity comes with art. And so we decided to add this Women in Tech Arts Awards. Then we have the Aspiring Teen, which is for the youth. That's very promising. We have the Best Ally, and then it can be a man or a woman. It can be people of, once again, any gender that can apply to that. We have the Startup, Women in Startup, Women in Web3, Global Leadership Award, Most Disruptive Award, and the Lifetime Achievement Award. So we really try to highlight, identify, and celebrate women from the earliest age, the youth, so a teenager, until a woman who has already done remarkable things throughout the career with the Lifetime Achievement, trying to really find women in every single category and in every single different time of their life.
Based on your experience, you've been in the business of empowering women and girls for at least 5 years. What are the main challenges that women and girls all around the world face?
I would say, depending on the region, they've got different challenges, but most of them is being stick to the mother, right? To the mother role. Like that means that when you are a mother or a family, you have to privilege being a mother and not having a career. I think these are the most difficult things, because for men, they can have both, and I think women can have as well. And the second thing would be, it's mostly on the mindset, right? Today, I think women that want to go into technology or astronaut or any career at all, I think breaking those biases or the stereotypes that the society gives you, those are one of the main barriers, although they have the capacity and the opportunity. It's those mindsets that have to be broken down. And also, when you come into the entrepreneurship role sector, I think getting funding. Women, they don't get funded. We say, women, we already have the power. We don't need to be empowered. We need to be funded. We need money, because things to go, to create companies, to pay people, to organize, start projects, we need money. And so I think that if companies, if investors, if governments gave women leadership roles and gave them access to funding, and broke down more of those stereotypes on what the woman role should be, I think we're on the right way.
What is the future for women in tech? Could you share a vision for the initiative?
So obviously our mission is to empower 5 million women and girls by 2030. How are we going to do this? So first we are going to be launching right now this platform where the women are going to be able to have the tools and all the products necessary to be able to unleash their power, right? So whether it's going to be through networking, have a community support, we have got that, Women in Tech community platform, where they can share things, post things, go make sure that they're going to be a part of their community in their country and meet with other women from all around the world. It's a collaborative platform. It's like a mixture between Facebook and LinkedIn, I like to say. So that's very nice. So it's very important for them to be able to do that through events. We've got events around the world. Events not only to network, because sometimes we know how important it is, the power of the network, but also events where they're going to be learning, like workshops, different educational programs, meeting people. We've got a talent hub as well. Talent hub is very important because we can educate women, but if you don't give them jobs, it doesn't work. So the talent hub is to find for the companies to find best talent, female talent, and for the women to be able to put forward their CVs so that they can be hired. This is what we want. We're also working on the crowdfunding platform. We've got already working with Acredius on this, which is a financing company in Switzerland, and we've got the license for the whole of Europe, where we're going to be able to have women portfolios, project portfolios, and get them funded through crowdfunding. We're also working on so many different things. Also on the Women in Tech Council, which is very quite an exclusive but very senior leadership positions network. And most of all, we are already working with the École des Ponts et Chaussées in France. We are building a Women in Leadership, Board, Governance and Innovation certification program, which is equivalent almost to a master, because we want to have, so it's certified by the École des Ponts, which is to make sure that women are certified to be on boards. Because I think once women take on leadership positions, things start to change.
Should we expect more of women in tech initiatives in Georgia in the years to come?
Of course. Not only in Georgia, but everywhere around the world. Hopefully in a few years' time, every single country in the region will have a Women in Tech, chapter. And so if you're watching, if you would like to grow a community, to be part of the community, really just reach out, go to our website, womenintech.org. And then if you put us a message, you're going to come straight to the chapter, to Nino, who's going to be able to answering and see the best way to collaborate.
Well, thank you very much, Ayumi, for your time, for your interest in our country, and for whatever you're doing to empower women and girls all around the world.
Okay, thank you so much.
The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.